But we can start with something else. Which color do you think? What do you think the NAF gift is, and which color do you think it is?
Oh, well, my one actually arrived today for this year. So that was last year rather. So that's nice.
Yep.
It was purple last time. So and an argue the call. So I'm trying to think of what it could be in relation to Blood Bowl 2020. Would I be batting on the wrong, going up the wrong drain pipe, as it were, if I was to say it could be related to Blood Bowl 2020?
It's not unrelated.
Okay. Well, let's go for color. Maybe a light green.
Nope. Definitely
Nope.
not light
Damn.
green.
Okay.
The color is not particularly linked. The
Good.
gift is slightly
It's,
has a link to Blood Bowl 2020.
this spike thing is saying an error occurred. You're not allowed to be there.
Oh, you cannot see blood. No, well, we'll just take it. It's of course you don't have to write punches.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Or you could.
I can
You
share.
could.
Share my
Can you share screen?
Yeah, it's, at least you can see the full screen what I'm looking at as well. Then.
Yeah, that's good. That'll be fine. And I want two screens, so I can have you up on one, and I can have Fumble and the chat box up on the other.
Actually, and I can even might be able just to share this one, which is actually the list of teams.
Okay.
Because then you don't have to watch all the other. A big.
Yeah.
Fuck
yeah,
up.
yeah, that's all I need. That's all I need. That's great. Thank you.
Yeah, so when I click into the teams, you can see the teams as well.
Beautiful.
No.
No, not big fuck off you. Okay.
No. It might actually have been something we have before, but because something has changed.
Is it to do with fame?
No.
Oh, okay.
But we're getting there.
We're getting there. So it's a kickoff related thing?
Not.
No.
You use it in It's used in every kickoff. You're right.
Oh, okay. Oh, is it a D8?
No. What?
Oh, okay.
You use it in the whole drive.
A ball token.
And because let's just take it. But it's a bigger ball token, and it fits under the new bigger bases, of course.
That's good.
I'm still find it slightly amusing with the loose ball, because if nobody's standing on the ball, what is the ball then?
Yeah.
It's a loose ball. It cannot be. It's a ball. Period. It's not a ball carrier, not a loose ball. It's a ball. If it's on somebody, somebody has it, and it's some lovely pink dices. I think quite a lot would actually like those ones.
Yeah, that's good.
They're quite
good.
look quite
nice.
weird.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I'm glad to see. It's always nice to get like something like Argue the Call actually is quite a nice token to get as well, because like from this last one, the one before is nice as well because it's useful. That's the thing. The ones which aren't useful I think you can tell when you can tell that these gifts and the tournament gifts are designed by people that know how to play.
Yeah.
Or,
So you actually had it with it's actually is related to 2020 sort of.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. That's good.
And it was also related to kickoff because there's a ball in every kickoff.
Yes, of course. Oh, it was like 20 questions. 20 questions with core. What do you mean you haven't guessed the ball on question 1?
Come on, get closer. Now we got there. And yeah, some light pink.
Hellboy. I'll do my PC impersonating core. So Hellboy impersonating PC impersonating core. How did you not guess it was a ball from the beginning? You should have known already.
Oh yeah, you should have known. Actually, I think accidentally our Greek friends actually posted a picture of it earlier.
Thanks, Mazum. Yep, and the child gets younger every time the story gets told.
Yeah. But yeah, we got in the weekend is. So the reason is the NAF gift is now is because normally the new NAF gifts is getting released in the NAF Championship, which should have been this weekend.
Follow me, everything is
I have a little car driving down the lane. So sadly, we cannot play NAF Championship, which is one of my personal favorite tournaments. Been every year. So it's been held since 2008, I think.
Yep, and you've won it a couple of times, haven't you? So
I won it twice. Lost the final once, won the league table once, twice. So it's also good, a lot of good memories. But no matter what, it's the biggest single tournament we got, which is not a team tournament, and it's great for meeting people, and the venue is amazing.
Oh, we've got to be entertaining, Core, because switching over from Rick is no small
what the fuck?
Small thing.
Hey Barney. I'm not sure I can do Rick level entertainment.
Whoa! Flip me, guys! We've got a NAF tournament. Woo!
Let me piling on again.
Taboki!
Oh, is that? I can barely remember. And we use this opportunity to try to host like a lifestyle NAF tournament on Blood Bowl 2, which we haven't done before, which NAF approved, where it's been weekly rounds. Fumble had done it a couple of times, and we do have we got 42 people taking part, so it's not too bad. I could have. Don't get me wrong. I'd like more people.
Yeah, of course, and yes, and I was fully intending to play, but real life has stepped in, and I know at least a couple of other people who'd already said, I just can't do it. It's a shame.
Yeah, and it's it's a really nice tournament for a lot of reasons, and lots of board gaming in general, and people having fun. Or going out for that matter, is really good, and and 42 is fine. It also means we can figure out if the concept actually works for Blood Bowl 2. But yes, online weekly rounds is a lot easier for most people to handle, and I understand that. It's a lot easier to book a whole weekend if you go away. I think we all tried it with 2-day tournaments at home is so hard compared to when you actually go off and leave.
Yeah, even as someone who doesn't have, I don't have children or anything to worry about or whatever, but even so, you still have to really think about it because you're planning. I'm making sure. Or if I'm playing Sunday, I've got to go out and do the weekly food shop maybe earlier than I need to do, or even just small things like that. You have to just plan around it, don't you? You can't. So the full weekend is often easier to get away from the real life stuff as well, isn't it? It's a nice step away from stuff rather than having people standing on top of you.
Yeah.
So where are we starting? Are we going in any particular order? Are we going
table
in
one?
Order, table order. Oh, fantastic! So we can have a look at the matchups as we go along.
Yes, that was the plan. Let's at least do a bit.
Yeah, sure.
So the first matchup is actually two people we know more or less. Bestas, I imagine both of them know Jim quite well from the NAF scene in the UK.
Yep.
He plays a ton of NAF tournaments when it's not COVID time. Travels a lot, plays a lot. It's a good guy. I played him a lot. He's have a little bit of a fetish, at least at the moment, with his pro elves.
Very nice. Couple of dodge on the blitzers. So you've got the blodge sidestep there. You've got a double dodge catches, and then he's got a wrestle, a block, and a nice double as for guard there. I like.
Yeah, that's not.
It's very logical.
Yeah, elves are expensive, right?
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Exactly.
If you want 12 for an apple.
Yeah, and he's got the 3 rerolls Apple. He's not gone for who's the star? Eldril build.
No,
he's not gone for the Eldril build, so. Yeah, only 2 catches is interesting, isn't it? I think if you can, you're probably sacrificing a reroll to get the third one in, though, aren't you?
Yeah, I can see it. And Bestos has, yeah. I was about to say I never really played Pro Elves in rest style mods. I played a couple of tournaments. Bestos have definitely experimented more than I have. They're quite expensive.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. Unless you go for a really heavy fouling build, I've seen before, where you take maybe like one catcher and then you just go to 14 or something with the and you go all out fouling on them and stuff, don't you? You know, there's ways of playing with them, but I think I think we can trust Bestas with his build there, and it doesn't. You've got the wrestle. That's great. Always nice to have a wrestle kicking around. You know, maybe you want maybe a guard on a catcher would have been another interesting option if you took 3 catchers.
Yeah, but
Guard on one.
if you only have 2, you cannot really. You need to give them
Yeah,
bursts.
exactly. So no, I think obviously it's going to be pretty solid, isn't it? So.
Yeah, that's the one I can do that on. And Tunlo is veteran elite. Oh shit, that was not what I want. At least in TSD. He's made it through of the group stage. I'm pretty sure, at least once. Played in TSD for some seasons. Norwegian and Volomatian playing NAF in Norway. So at least Tunlo, you won on table 1 for 1 game at least. It's gone with a Roxy build with 1 rebuild Apple leader.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. It's the time when you have to take the thrower to get the leader. Really, I'm very much in the camp with Dio in the sense that I'm not a big fan of the Amazon thrower, but when you've got the Roxy build, you have to put the leader on.
Yeah,
you just can't.
Rocks you like a hurricane. Even before clicking, you know what's coming. And we also conceded 216 the cash. Yeah, I've been once to Pouring Rain. I quite enjoyed it. Besides buying anything, besides that fact, when you had to actually pay for anything, I quite enjoyed my experience in Pouring Rain. So that's but yeah, it's Roxy. I like the full guard with Roxy because that's what you want.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. I have absolutely no issue with that build at all. That's going to be a really interesting game actually because it's almost that's got the kind of
It could have
the
been
1-1.
Yeah.
It's got the 1-1 written all over it, but at the same time, it's actually got the 2-1 potential for both sides, or even higher scoring potential.
I might. I'm a spare player, and if everybody turns up, I might cast that game. Until now, that could be a favorite for if I'm ending up having just to cast something.
Yeah, I think that's a nice choice. So are we on to table 2 now?
Yep. We got meat. What is it?
I mean,
yeah, okay.
It's a Norse team with more tackle, and I'm surprised that's not a claw on the Mino, to be fair. Oh no, because it's a double, isn't it, with Chorfs? Oh no. Oh, that's a shame. I mean, it's a build, isn't it? It's
a decision.
I mean, I've seen a lot of ways of building Chorfs.
This is a first.
I mean, yeah. I'd like to know how it feels to play versus it. I think this is kind of like when I went to the Welsh Open last time it ran for real. I had game 1, my Lizards versus Amazons, and my head sank. I was like, oh god, I'm going to be playing against guard, because you get 8 skills at the Welsh.
Oh yeah, it's a demi build.
Oh yeah, and I was like, oh god, guard. Oh, probably thrown another double in there somewhere. I was like, oh, for goodness sake. And I sat down, and he'd got 11 Blodge Amazons because he'd got the 4 blitzers and then put everybody on everything else. And I looked at it and I went, okay, so I'm not knocking anything over, but he's not going to be able to get the 2Ds on me as easily. and I ended up winning the game. It was a really fascinating game. He also bought a chainsaw. It was a very fascinating game, but it changed the dynamic. So I'd be interested to see how this one plays out, because normally you'd expect to see some guard or mighty blow on the chorfs. The double block bull is quite that's fine. That's a decision. But to put an assault on
have you
hobgoblin,
realized the thing? Who are you putting on the bench on those 12 players?
oh
It's a
yeah,
block hobgoblin.
oh oh god, oh no, oh no. Yeah, that's a shame. You could have easily had it. Maybe if you want to go a bit rowdier, you could have taken a mighty blow on one of the chorfs, couldn't you?
And left a
And
blank hobgoblin.
yeah, oh, that's a shame.
And
That's a shame.
it's a demi build. There's no apple either.
Oh, dimmy build. Oh dear. Oh, 2 rerolls as well. Okay. Oof,
It,
okay. Well, we'll see how that one gets on during the day. Well, who's the opponent in round one?
DM Lord. With a
Oh wow. Oh, with a
dead roller build.
oh god.
It's a
Oh, that's
fascinating
hilarious.
game.
That's hilarious. But yes, I think
Bench to
I think
Mino.
I think Diom Lord is going to enjoy playing that game.
This is so he got 4 guard and a death roller to take care of those dwarves.
Yeah, full guard the leader, because you have to when you're taking the death roller.
You've still got 2
Oh no!
rerolls. You don't even
Oh,
need.
he's gone for no Apo.
Yep.
Ooh, interesting. Okay, yeah. Okay, so leader there to get the 3 rerolls. That seems to suggest he might be looking to do some high rolling at some point. Because I would have thought that the leader
Tractor
with 1
versus cow.
reroll Apo. Yeah, tractor versus cow. It's a real farming setup there. That's going to be a fun game. That's going to be a fun game. That's a nice dwarf build. I don't mind that at all. If
No, you've got the money.
if you're being silly and bringing a death roller, then that's an absolutely fine build, isn't it? Well, I think Diom Lord is a slight favourite in that matchup. Let's say that.
But to be fair,
Even if the Chorf team have been built in a more standard way, shall we say.
So next up, we got 2 more people I don't really know. Mad Hatter, 10 underscore score 6.
Okay, so we've got a 14-man undead team. Skeleton I like.
But only 2 ghoul.
2 ghouls. I'm not. 2 ghouls. Guard on the mummies. This reminds me very much of the build, apart from I brought 4 ghouls, of the build that I took to the NAF championships, and then I proceeded to lose to everyone, including a child. And I swore again that I would never take guard on more than 1 mummy ever. And probably now I wouldn't even consider taking guard on the mummies. So I think this it has potential for some fouling and looks a bit rowdy. But I think the 2 ghouls is what really stands out. 3 is the minimum, I think.
Yeah, in my world it's 4 and 2 and 12 players, so it's 3 and 13 players. You don't need
exactly.
14.
Yeah, and it also feels a little greedy. I mean, it could work. Having a mighty blow and a tackle white, that feels a little greedy. I think if you think you're going into a heavy elf meta, then bringing a tackle, if you choose to do it, that's up to you. But you've got to wrestle. But I think for me, that seems. I would have liked to have seen a guard white, 1 guard mummy.
I guess the upside is you only have 6 positional, so I cannot even complain about the guard mummies, because
I guess that's true. Yeah,
there's only 6 players to give skills. I will
right.
I've gone in the NAF championship. I'll go 4 ghouls and skill up the 4 ghouls and the 2 whites. Period.
Yeah.
But he meeting Rad, and we got a Roger.
Okay. Ooh.
And we got 2.
Yes.
Is that it's 2 jump up got us.
Jump up.
And 2 wrestle, 2 gun jump up.
Wow. And a nerves of steel
thrower.
Okay.
This is and 2 and nothing on the blitzers, because who wants skills on your blitzers?
I'm glad.
And a break tackle Rad Ogre. That game is going to be mental.
Wow, I'm really glad that it's me doing this and not PC. Otherwise, I think people would be in tears if they watched back the VOD if PC had done the cast.
He might have been watching you.
Love you, PC. Love you, PC. Yeah, I mean, I like a wrestle gutter runner. Don't get me wrong, I like a wrestle gutter runner, but
Yeah.
to jump up being a better skill than block or strip ball. I think there's going to be some. I think there's going to be some wacky. Let's use the word wacky matchups in this.
That is I've seen all the teams because I proved all the teams.
Yeah,
That has some interesting builds. This is one
that's
of them.
good. Well, that's good though because maybe
it's a new.
this is people having fun. This is people having fun. They're trying
Yes.
something new. You know.
Next up is Small Pro Elf Anubis, which has
Oh
played
yes,
another.
Anubis, yeah.
He's played some TSD at
Yeah,
least.
I've played him. I've played him in TSD. He's played for Proels before. Yeah. Oh, okay. So he's experimenting with a frenzy blitzer. I don't dislike that. With the sidestep as well. You can go for those surfs and be safe on the sideline.
But he's not taking any guard to go with it, which is
No,
a bit interesting.
That's true. And also he's gone for the dirty player. That he did foul when I think when he was in with me and Hawker.
Yeah.
And he fouled Hawker's Wood Elf team almost off the pitch.
Yeah.
And yeah.
It's a bit interesting. He's not gone with the two catchers and the extra players if you want to go that way down.
Yeah, interesting. Wrestle again though. I like wrestle on a catcher. That's nice. Double dodge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you have three, it makes sense. Giving the
This is a solid one. Ooh, versus goblins. Wow, that's not a team you really want to be fouling against either.
and this is
Is it a ripper?
No, this is all the money.
Wow, 4 rerolls. Wow. Ooh, that's a nasty man. Actually,
The team value is full on.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
Too strong.
It's so big roster. I can not really see. I cannot. My box is too little. I need to scroll up at that.
Dear.
But it's only goblins in the bottom, down to 16.
I'm trying to think of what PC would say at this point. And
2 strong arm trolls.
2 strong arm trolls.
Block fanatic. Sidestep Pergo. 3 sidestep goblins.
Is that a dodge chainsaw?
It is.
Oh wow.
And 4 rerolls. Get in there, lad. And 16 players.
This is going to be this is going to be some funny matchups, isn't it? This is great. I tell you something I just thought of just now. I bet that because when do we get the opportunity to see everyone's rosters? We don't. You don't see everyone's rosters at tabletop tournament.
No, it's a shame sometimes.
So exactly. So what we're seeing is people having fun, taking something different. Yeah. And we're actually getting to see matches that in the nicest way possible. Some of these rosters may not end up in the top tables, right? So
some of them I don't hope.
Yeah, unless you end up playing one of them first round, for example, core, you're probably going to be working your way through the people that are taking the competition seriously. So it's lovely to see some of these funky rosters. I like it. Okay. So more
yeah, so that's a line rat you cannot see because that's 13.
Okay, line rat we can't see. Oh, so big roster, double mighty blow, strip wrestle. This is more like it. Leader, thrower, rat ogre with juggernaut. Interesting, but if you're going to take the roger, then maybe.
Yeah, you kind of need leader and because you're going to sack or reroll on that.
This to me looks like a rat build that's going for maximum punishing you on the injury and punishing you in the way that Skaven do normally. And we're gonna juggernaut you off the side of the pitch as well. That looks like a really dicey in the sense of we're gonna throw everything at you roster. That looks good fun. That looks really good fun.
Yeah, and Dr. Reapers, you need to probably need to kill most elves in your matchup with your goblins. And we got Rusi, another household named in the Blood Bowl too.
Oh, and this look at this! What a boring standard roster this is.
No, but he's taking a sidestep catcher. He's experimenting.
We've been joined by a PC.
Hello.
Oh, you missed some funny rosters.
I did my best to think of what you were going to say, PC, but we'll let it slide there. Just don't worry.
I'm trying to be nicer.
I know, but what would you say to 2 strong-armed trolls on a goblin team?
I'd let someone else talk about it, I think.
But it's
there we go. And a chorf team with 2 block bull centaurs, guard mino, and 3 block hobgoblins.
which give you 12 players and who you're going to bench because all your hobgoblins have skills. I think it's fine. It's interesting
Well, look,
because there's
the
clearly
NAF the
Great
NAF
game.
has always been about inviting everybody to come and play Blood Bowl in the
Yes.
biggest celebration of all
There we
sorts of Blood
go.
Bowl. There we are. That's
Exactly.
what I would
It's
say.
gonna be great fun. I think Russi here building an actual team.
Yeah.
Looks
So we take the.
strong.
I will probably personally still take the Dutch lineman over the sidestep
Yeah.
for the one turner just because you really don't want to need to do a one turner anyway.
Yeah, that's fine though.
But Rossi knows what he's doing. Let's
yeah.
We can see the difference in people are used to playing NAF and people are not. We have Tenro and Vestas in table 1, which should be a really cracking game. With Roxy Amazons versus Pro Elves.
Well, a celebration of Roxy before she disappears from the Amazon rosters.
Let's see if I can find layer.
It's perfect timing from PC. My opponent has just turned up, so I can focus on my match whilst I occasionally talking about the rosters. So it's working.
Yeah, I've got a bit of family drama, so I'm expecting a phone call at some point. But
that's fine. I can drop back in again.
Yeah, I'm happy to hang around a little bit and try and talk very positively about people's interesting decisions.
Exactly. Positivity.
We got Mad Hatter. You already had your opponent Shunkas a little bit earlier, and thank you so much for the follows. So next up is some dwarves. What do we have here? Juggernaut, Blitzer, Mighty Blow Blitzer, Mighty Blow Troll Slayer, Stuttgart, and what is this down here? And a kick-off return.
Kick-off return. That's how you build them, isn't it, PC?
Yes, that's fine. It's all fine. This is great.
It's
look, he's got 12. That's right. He's got 3 rerolls, hasn't he?
Yep.
No, he's got
3 rerolls. No Apo.
No Apo. Instead, he's gone with some cheerleaders.
Yeah.
That's a choice. He might win some things that way. Because, of course, he's got the second Slayer, hasn't he? So
yeah, that's
he
the
can
thing.
afford 3 rerolls and the Apo. And then with 12, you can usually get away without an Apo. I tend to use it to keep a KO on the pitch, to be honest.
Yeah, that
or if
random
goes
chip.
badly hurt in the first half, yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
this isn't terrible. The kickoff return, at least it's going to give him, if he's up against elves, it's going to get him to the ball quicker. That's pretty good. I do put kickoff return on dwarves, not as a first skill, but it's a good skill on a runner, so it's not entirely terrible. He's got 2 guard. That's not really enough for me, but it's a start. It gives him some solidity. The 2 slayers, I tend not to, but again, it means he can deal with orcs better than if you've got 1.
And it happens.
One with Mighty Blow, I prefer it on a beard personally, but it's all right having it on a frenzy piece. It means you get lots of chances to hit with it if you can support it well with lots of guard, which he doesn't have. Then also going with a second Mighty Blow on the Blitzer and not having either of the 2 Mighty Blows on tackle. Some people might say that was wrong. I think it's interesting. It gives him lots of hitting power, just not against anything that dodges.
And
a
talk about that.
Blitzer. I can't. There's nothing I can say about that core. It's not a choice that's good.
No, it's you're
choice.
trying.
I'm trying.
And he's really trying. He might be his first NAF style tournament, for all we know. And DM Lord.
Any of those things.
Yeah,
me too. Yeah, if you're going to put Juggernaut on a dwarf team, pop it on your Slayer, and then put one of the Mighty Blows on the Beard, and don't have the other Mighty Blow have more guard than 2, because you haven't got enough strength. You need some guard to help. I don't particularly love that build, but there's some reasons for some of what he's done.
Yeah, and at least you missed DM Lord's dwarves with a Death Roller. He's gone full on have fun dwarves.
Okay, well, I quite liked Mr. Page's build. I wouldn't have put the double Slayer, double Mighty Blow
on top of it.
I mean, dropping an Apo, dropping one of the either a Slayer or a Runner to get, and then a reroll as well to squeeze the 12th player in as a Death Roller isn't terrible.
And it's
It
fun.
does mean if you get chipped a piece, that's going to be problematic. You're going to be short in the second half, but you should be able to dominate the first half with the death roller. So it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
And it is fun. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's the goal. He's played a lot. Diomlo plays a lot.
Diomlo's a very good player. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But talking about not having a tackle and tackle mighty blow combined, the dwarf's opponent is Wobbert's Amazons.
Yeah. Again, I would personally want a little more guard than that as Amazons. Is this another Roxy build? It looks a little light.
Yeah, must be.
Must be. There's only 11 of them. It can't be. And this doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know if he managed to do the money right because it doesn't say anything about cash.
Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah,
weird.
Depending on how they do it. We hope he's done it right. But it must be a Roxy build. I'm still prefer KFoged
build. Even then, I mean, look, I don't hate the two Rogers. Wrestle Dodge, it's pretty good. It's quite nice for sacking as well. I just think Roxy needs a little more support than two guards. Sometimes.
You want the guard to push out into.
Yeah.
And
I don't hate the fact that he's taken two more Blodgers. That's good. Blodgers are a very strong set of skills. So he's got two Rogers. He's got 6 Blodgers, 2 of which have guard. That's not terrible. But yeah, I think I would rather sacrifice perhaps the block on the ball carrier because I'd probably carry on Roxy and grab another guard that way, and perhaps either the Blodge piece or one of the Rog pieces again for another guard. I think 4 guard is so strong on Amazons.
Yeah, I'll never play with anything else. Where can I not? Oh, there it is. And Amazons are quite popular. So we will go straight into another Amazon team. He played a friendly with it. That's why it looks weird.
The Pantheon Punishers.
Which again has gone interesting enough. 2 guards seems to be the theory. 2 catchers. Thrower. 4 rerolls.
Very odd. A tackle on the blitz again is something I've moved away from recently. But I used to take 3 guard, 1 tackle, but now I won't. And
yeah,
it's we don't know at what point in people's playing and NAF experience they are, do we, with some of these builds? So
how many times they heard me and PC say stop it?
I mean, I know Core hates tackle on anything at all that hasn't.
Which is
Witches and War Dancers, yes.
Almost. Almost exclusive. It's just because of what they need to be able to do. Then. But Amazon,
you've only got 6 skills to spread around. It does feel a bit expensive to sometimes squeeze a tackle on.
And Amazons are not winning by sacking anyway.
No.
They're winning by squeezing the opponent.
Yeah, you do it with Roxy.
With a wrestle.
Or with a wrestle. So you can squeeze better with more guard, actually. It sounds dull, but yes. I don't hate block on those 2 catchers. Turning them into Blodgers and the handoff option there because Amazons are quite slow, so that's not awful. I don't hate the sure hands on the thrower. That's going to be a re-roll saver. But again, this looks quite light and tight. Are we again seeing Roxy on the top? Do you think?
No, I don't think so. It's it's a little bit higher. I was scrolling down.
It's 4 re-rolls.
4 re-rolls. Okay, so it's 12 Amazons, 4 re-rolls, and presumably an Apo as well. Then.
Yeah, you can see Apo, cheerleaders, and a 1200. You can see the team.
Yeah. Okay. Then I don't see how this squeezes particularly effectively. I don't think the tackle's going to turn over the ball for you with only 2 guards. I mean, it's possible you can put all that blodge into people's faces and pull a cage apart that way, and then get hold of the ball carrier. That's doable, but I think it's asking quite a lot. And they're up against undeads. Okay.
It's quite interesting undead because what you cannot see there is he's gone for. I'm pretty sure he was supposed to go for a bribe. We're back to the cast the cast thing being a little bit weird, but it should be fine because everybody. If he doesn't meet anybody else with inducement, if he fucked up, And if he's fucked up, we'll take later. I cannot be asked.
Yes, because it's a roster to 11 with only 3 ghouls. So I was thinking,
Yeah,
hang on, what's
that's a
missing here?
bribe to go
It's
with
a
the
bribe,
dirty brew.
okay. Although 3 rerolls as well, so it's it's still got some skills there. This isn't terrible, is it? It's
No, it's all right. The only thing I noticed really is that your only guard is on the mummy.
Yeah, instead of the whites.
Yeah. I mean, but it does give you 3 mighty blows, so it's going to be very, very powerful against some races.
If you if you can start the snowball with and bribe dirty player and 3 mighty blows, if he first gets up in numbers on you, it could be pretty deadly.
And a wrestle dodge ghoul is good utility piece. A blodge ghoul to carry. I don't love the naked ghoul, but that's because he's wanted a DP and a bribe to support it. That's sort of okay. The whites, I don't think you can afford one that mighty blows and one that tackles. I think it needs to be one or the other. And actually, I'd rather just have 2 guard whites.
Me too.
And then
But
3 skills.
I think, but as we say though, the point is that things like this you learn over time. You learn through playing. Like I now will always go for. I would much rather have something with wrestle than something with tackle, and that's just how it goes. But that's because I've been able to watch the streams, listen to guys like you talking, play good coaches, and watch good coaches, and it's all things you learn, and it's okay to experiment with these
absolutely.
kind of builds.
And the NAF C particularly, it's the big one in some ways, and it should be about anyone that wants to come up and play some Blood Bowl doing that. No one should be embarrassed about it.
Yeah, and this is a nice Amazon team as well.
It's a very nice Amazon team.
That's more like it, isn't it? Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, I did the same. Depending on the setup, depending on the tournament and the meta, I think I'll be facing. I might sneak in rather a mighty blow than anything else on the 4th. And some tournaments I might even sneak in a sure hands if I think it will be wood elf heavy.
Coffee, you may want to check your post in the next few days. My purple dice came yesterday.
Mine arrived today.
Together with my lovely Argue the Call token, which will also be useful. So they may well be on their way to you, mate.
Yeah, if they're all if it's on the way, it's the old dice, which is purple. If you look at the cast up in the top of the corner, you have the next year's gifts, which is the pink one and a ball token that fits on the bigger bases.
Well, I already have a ball token. 2 ball tokens.
I got 4 at least.
There's no such thing as too many ball tokens. They are
and a nice readable pink color to go with it.
Yeah, the dice. I mean, they'll go into my bag of why have I got this many dice?
It's because then you meet a dice collector and you give him all your dice, and then you're free.
I think you're missing the word sell there. But yes, one day they'll probably all just go on eBay. I like this build. I guess it's Roxy again because 2 rerolls and leader on the thrower screams Roxy. So you still get 3 rerolls. You get Roxy on top of this. There's a nice Rodge piece, which again is a good utility. There's a catching catcher, which I like for handoff options for extending the play, pushing them deep into the field, and then Roxy just gets the ball to them and hands off on a 1 in 9. That can really extend your range. 3 guards is great. A hitting blitzer is never a bad thing. It means that Roxy doesn't have to get herself in danger doing all of your hitting. You've got a piece to do the dedicated hitting, and then Roxy, when you really need her, can stay nice and protected, and then bring her out when she wants. This is pretty much how I would build an Amazon roster. Love it.
Yeah, it's again, and I don't hate having the mighty blow. If you don't want to hit with Roxy, you can always hit with mighty blows. Fine.
Yeah, I mean, I do want to hit with Roxy, but probably only once a half.
When somebody has left something you can serve.
Or when I can leap in and push her onto 2 guards and take their ball away. Because I'm not above doing that. I know that Amazons are often a control team, but if I can get their ball away and score, it's much easier.
Yeah. What are the Roxy zones are meeting some Negroes. So he gone guard whites.
And a double block golem, that's fair enough. And he's gone for he's fallen into the trap of the mighty blow and block wolf, which means game 1 he'll blitz with the mighty blow, and then game 2 to 6 he's going to blitz with the block as he rolled multiple both downs.
I mean, it's possible because particularly with Frenzy, that 1 in 9 risk. Remember, it's 50% pretty much that you don't get a POW, and either that means it's bad dice or it's a push, and then you've got to take the same risk again. Necros
Yeah.
don't tend to build with a lot of rerolls. This one has 2. So sometimes you're going to have to take the both down with your Mighty Blow Claw Wolf and hope that you break armor and that your armor stays. It's not terrible as a build, is it? It's fine.
No, it's fine. 2
Yeah.
guard white, 2 block flessies,
Yeah, and a Blodge Ghoul.
and a blood school, of course. 2
Yep.
rerolls is always the thing, and with 13 players. That's probably why a lot will just skip the double and take the block.
Yeah.
Or even take the wrestle. I don't actually hate for NAF style a wrestle wolf.
Yeah, that's something AD, because I took Necro to the last tabletop tournament that I went to, and AD and I had a nice little chat about it, because I know AD enjoys his Necro, and I said to him, okay, what shall I go for? And he convinced me to take the Wrestle Wolf, and I thought it was actually really, really useful.
Yeah. The build I helped Dimmy G with for Pony has a break tackle wrestle Ulf and a block mighty blow Ulf. So you've got your hitty piece and you've got your ball sacking piece. And I think wrestle can be fantastic on some pieces.
Oh my god, we got a we got more Amazons.
Oh wow!
It is the year of the lady, it seems. I wonder if it's because Roxy is about to be removed from Amazon options that people are wanting to just coach them along.
That's a good question. I know Cornish plays in the UK as well, and is a lovely guy. He does seemingly play like Rats and Skaven, and Amazons and stuff like that. And a lovely fella. And has got rid of Roxy build.
Well, I predicted it.
Do they all know that when they end up facing each other in one of the later rounds, they won't have Roxy versus each other because of the stupid way that Blood Bowl 2 won't let you take stars?
Which is technical, the right
Probably
way that
not,
can
no.
only be one.
Yeah.
That's technical. Normally, the actually rules. It's just because it's boring for tournaments. We normally say it both ways.
Yes. I mean, actually, in the official rules, that was always the way, except for Count Luther von Broken, and there was a special rule for him which said that another vampire lord turned up for the other side if both had hired Count Luther. And I always wondered why did he get the special treatment. But there we are. This is
it's fine. I want more guard, but
I mean, there is a lot of utility in having 4 blodge, 2 blodge guard, and 2 rodge. That's a load of nice things you can do with that.
Ooh.
And if you are just playing to wall up and hide Roxy behind and win on your drive, that's there's things this can do that can help with it.
Oh, so we got 14 halflings.
Ooh.
3
with
7
2 block trees. Oh yes, 2 block
3
trees.
7 3. So that's
Pretty
Chef.
sexy.
That's Chef and Sarah, I think. I must admit, I cannot recall. I think it's Chef and Sarah. That's fit the money, right?
Yes, Sarah's 270 and a Chef is 100, so that would make sense.
And that also makes sense with the build with the 2 trees and all the and two timing tackle, 2 sneaky git.
2 sneaky gits. So that doesn't make sense.
No, 2 sidestep. But I couldn't. That was one of the icons I couldn't recognize. I had no clue what that was.
I know you wish you didn't.
Yeah. I mean, I don't hate a couple of sidesteppers. I mean, on my recent Goblin builds, I tend to use just 2 out on the wings on kickoffs and things, so that they at least have to go through something to get down a wing. I don't hate 2 diving tackle. There's things you can do with that. I don't know what he thinks Sneaky Git is doing, but I guess he just had 2 more skills to allocate, and rather than picking the 2 not terrible ones, he decided he'd go with one of the terrible ones. I'd rather see a couple of sprints or a couple of sure feet, so that if you TTM it, you've got something that has a chance of moving afterwards, or that can perhaps more easily keep up with Zara if Zara's your ball carrier. Oh, is it catch? Perhaps it's catch, or someone is suggesting yes, catch would be another option.
Yeah, catch could have been an option.
Catch would be fine. Sure feet would be fine. I think both of those would offer a lot more utility than 2 sneaky gits. So is that catch, Cora? Are we misreading it?
No, it is a sneaky git.
It is sneaky git. Well, then that's yeah, I don't
I
support that.
I can recognize catch. I cannot tell you what the
Okay.
icon is, but that's definitely not catch.
Good. Yeah, absolutely. Super zombie body weigher man. I think sure feet or catch are both useful for TTM. So having two of those, I mean, I'd quite like sure feet again because it's useful on throw teammate. But also, as I said, if you need to potato Zara, you've got two flings that are much more likely to, be able to keep up with her and perhaps offer her some support.
I don't even mind going show feet on all my skills almost. I've done that with flings before.
Yeah, they are so slow.
They're bloody fucking slow. It's a nightmare. Oh, we got another 16 goblins. That's a bombardier down in the bottom with no skills.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm not extending my box to have all those 16 players, but bombardiers in the bottom. We got 480 in Cass. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 16 players. What is he buying with that without
He's going to have a load
a
of
chef?
fun.
It's
It's
chef.
a chef.
It's
Wow.
chef.
300 for a chef. Okay.
And what was it?
And he's not brought a chainsaw, has he? Or is he hiding it somewhere?
Is that Zombie's you?
Oh, no, he's got the chainsaw. He hasn't got a ball and chain.
I cannot recall what this team is going to do.
Well, it's going to have numbers for the second half. That's for sure because he's only got 2 weapons. No bribes though, so he can probably also keep the
is
weapons
it bribes?
for the turn.
It might be chef and 3 bribes. Because there are 16 players, they cannot.
Yeah, so he can't be having a star. So is it a chef and a bribe?
It's more than 1 bribe, right? Because there is 50k for goblins.
Yeah, it must be a chef and 3 bribes.
That's
okay,
hilarious.
So he's steal his rerolls, diving tackle, knock you over. I mean, the mighty blow zombie goblin is hilarious.
Oh, it is you, zombie.
And then presumably
Super
kick
zombie.
you in the face until you stop wriggling.
Super zombie robot lawyer man.
Yeah, three bribes and chef.
It's the best Twitch name ever.
It's really creative.
I've never seen. I'm pretty sure I've never seen this before.
Robot lawyer man. I got lost in the middle of that the first time, didn't I? It's really creative. It's going to get destroyed by a couple of rosters, but it's going to surprise the hell out of some people.
And he got sicky. We all again another TSD veteran.
Hello. Sorry, my bloody internet just fell over.
Wait up.
Wow, this is interesting build too.
Is it? I can say it's standard NAF Dark Elf.
Yeah, I mean the 2 witches both with wrestle, I suppose is what.
That's quite a lot of people that likes to wrestle for some reason. I've preferred. I like the block because you then have a.
Yeah, I like 1 block 1 wrestle personally.
It means.
But other than that, yeah, bog standard.
And we have the leader versus dodge debate on the runner as always. But besides that, but those 2 are the options. Like that's the creative. If you have a runner, which skill do you take it? And if you have 2 witch elves, do you take 2 wrestle or block wrestle?
And here the super zombie robot lawyer man is why lawyer it? Why not super zombie robot ninja man? I mean, why would you put lawyer in there? It's just an awful thing to add to at least.
Maybe he is a lawyer.
Perhaps he's a lawyer. I'm sorry if you're a lawyer. I mean, I'm sorry for you if you're a lawyer, not for saying that lawyers are awful. I'm sure not all lawyers are. Human rights ones, things like that. So the 2 wrestle here looks even worse against those flings because those witches on the ground are just going to get their face kicked in.
Yeah, that's the block just give you something else and you can use whatever.
Yeah.
They also have better ball.
The 5 dodge is going to be interesting against the diving tackle. So that's it's a 1 in 4 to knock over an elf with diving tackle when they dodge away. And about half of those, 75% successes, you're on your ass and the elf is still wandering away laughing at you. But it's a better chance than them just failing a 1 in 36.
And to be honest, and it's 11 die. It could be grim.
Yeah, this could be if the goblins can get on top of these guys, and because with 3 bribes they can just foul anything on the ground. if they can get on top of these guys in the first half, I mean, this game's going to be won in the first half, isn't it?
Yeah. Either
And
lost
it's
or
not a
won.
bad for Super Zombie Robot Lawyer Man. That's not a bad draw for him. There's a lot of teams that have been less happy to see, I'm sure. Well, the very best of luck to you.
I've made it back. My internet fell over.
Okay.
Ugh.
So did we when we looked at Super Zombie Robot Lawyer Man's team. But then we picked ourselves up and decided we don't hate it entirely.
No, I'm intrigued to see how that matchup is ending. Actually,
there's a plan there. I mean, and I get with that plan, you don't really want a ball and chain. It's just going to get in the way of what you're trying to do. I'm not sure I'd want the bomber either, but bombers are very cheap. The one thing that surprises me thinking back on that though is that you've gone with a mighty blow goblin rather than a wrestle goblin. There, I think your best bet is just get things on the ground and foul them until they're dead. And I think wrestle's better for that than a mighty blow goblin with no block. So that would be perhaps the change I would think about. But other than that, I think it's really interesting and fun, and that's a great thing to see.
And do I see a Mr. Rick Reckless now?
Yeah, we do have a tasty Rick Reckless in the tournament. And he's so sad Leap is getting nerfed, so he had to put it into his team name.
This is all right, isn't it? This is fairly safe.
It's Rick. It's Rowdy Rick. He's going to come leaping in, and he's going to keep leaping in as long as his war dancers to leap in with, because that's how Rick play Wood Elves.
Yeah, he took them to the Water Bowl online tournament, and he enjoyed them a lot.
So he got with the Sure Hands catcher, which is definitely not bug standard, and a Sure Feet catcher, and a kick catcher, and a leader,
and a leader throw. Well, that's interesting.
I like two players.
You like the war dance, don't you? Yeah. I don't hate kick. I'm not sure why it's been squeezed onto a catcher. I think I'd rather have it if I'm going to have it on a lineman. I don't hate the leader caddy as much as you do.
No, and it's fair because Rick is the way Rick plays would have. I want
high
that
risk, high reward. He's going to have to use those rerolls, isn't he?
Yeah, it's different because it's different style of Wood Elves. I think I can get away with playing 2 reroll Wood Elves because of the way I play Wood Elves. But I will not.
Sure Feet at least means that one turn options are going to have some inbuilt rerolls as well. So
I'd rather want Sure Feet. I'd rather want Sidestep.
The fear with taking Sure Feet on a piece like that though is that you end up using it, and eventually the more you use it, the more chance you when you're only moving your movement 8, you're not rolling any dice. And as soon as you start rolling that opportunity at the 1 in 36, it's going to come and bite you, isn't it? And you're going to go, oh, I made the first one, I'll go again.
I've always said 64% of bull centaurs die on go for it.
Exactly.
No actual maths or statistics are used there.
Well, I was going to say that 10% of the statistics that PC makes up are actually accurate.
But yeah, this is Warden's a leap in, ball goes free, Sure Hands picks it up, gives it to Sure Feet that then gets out of range. That's what this build is.
I mean, I think the Sure Hands, I know you hate it, Core, because you're toxic and hateful. I can see it. It's quite useful in lots of ways. It means if there's a short kick that he really does need to pick up, he doesn't have to throw a reroll at it. He can still use them for shenanigans.
And for the one turn,
if he does knock the ball over, that's, as you said, that's the fetch piece. Which again just means that's one less reroll he needs to use on that particular bit of dice. So there's reasons for it. It's not entirely terrible.
No, that's what I'm saying. That was kind of my whole point. Is that for what Rick want to do, this team is probably right.
And I mean, if I'm going to justify the kick on a catcher, I think it's because he wants to keep the 3 catchers and leader thrower all protected. I know you sometimes use them to scream with.
Because I got 4. Who fucking cares?
Exactly. But he's got 3, all of which he's going to care about. He wants to use his rerolls for the dancers. He wants the trash Wood Elves to take all the hits, and he's going to try and keep his catchers safe for when that game is winnable for him. So there's definitely a plan behind this build as well. I get it. It's interesting, which is very Rick. It's creative, and it uses a lot of skills that you don't often see on Wood Elves. So that's fun.
Yeah, I can see why it's there. It's just not a wood elf for me.
I mean, I can see why you're saying that, Coffee Monster. That, for example, taking those 3 skills off the wood elf catchers and having, for
Dodge,
example,
dodge,
3...
wrestle, or wrestle, dodge.
Yeah, 2
Oh.
wrestle and a dodge, or 2 dodge and a wrestle might be seen as stronger, but it's not as fun.
Oh shit! We got 14 goblins. So there's a goblin in the bottom as well. He played 4-2 friendly with somebody.
Wow.
Oh, there was the other one. There was the other guy. It was another stunt.
Okay, they played their friendly together.
Yeah.
I mean, this is perhaps more... No, it isn't. There's another sneaky git in here for some reason.
Oh, we learned it.
Jesus
wept. Block Pogo, Block Fanatic, 2 sidestep, Dodge Looney. Why have we strong arm again? God.
Yeah.
God is fine.
I mean, guard troll... I personally don't like it. What the hell are you guarding? And it's unreliable anyway.
Yeah, but it's...
I'd rather have break tackle for those crazy moves where you suddenly need a troll to do something ridiculous.
Okay.
Whilst
Guard or strong arm?
Neither.
Yeah, it's fair
I mean,
enough.
I understand the strong arm gives you a TTM option, but I don't want to win by TTM unless I really, really have to.
It's still bad.
And if that's what I'm planning, I'll bring Ripper along to do my throwing. I don't like block on the weapons. I don't know how many bribes he's got, but they're
3.
still not. Okay. Well,
that was 115. That was 115 the bang. I bet you that's 3.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then it's okay to put block on your ball and chain. It does make it a lot more useful. But if you're going to do that, I think there's a good argument just to take Fungus. He's not that much more expensive, and he comes with Mighty Blow and an extra step of movement. That can be good.
I think we have a group of guys that have been having fun together with their builds. I see a lot of the same names going again in those friendlies.
In those friendlies, yeah. Well, I mean, they're obviously a group of mates, and that's fine.
That's cool.
That's good. That's good.
It's just nice seeing. We're just not used to see it, and normal NAF tournament we don't know if people have been playing with their builds.
Yeah, I see what you mean, Coffee. I mean, that is the only place to use a sneaky git, is the no assist, last action of the turn, that piece is on the ground. Let me just see if I can get, high roll and chip it, and if I don't even break armor, it's fine. So, yeah, but you can just do that with a goblin anyway. You're just reducing so few options, and if it's the last action of a turn, you can't risk it failing by it sort of working, or by you rolling a break that only stuns, and it's still not being any good to have sneaky git. I'd still rather have another sidestep, and I don't rate sidestep, or diving tackle, and I don't rate diving tackle. But I do see your point. That's how to use it if you've got one.
Right. What do you think about this skill LP of lizards, Hellboy?
I don't. Okay. Someone asked me the other day, would I play with guard on lizards, and I said I could probably do it because I've played with break tackle on lizards before. But I know people don't like the 6 block, but it's very hard to get away from just taking 6 block, right? Maybe a frenzy, maybe a tackle, maybe a guard. I don't mind it.
Yeah,
but there's some high ranked lizard players that do take that do sneak in like a tackle player or something else and do.
Yeah, I didn't hate the. I mean, I don't like the sidestep skink. I don't really see what sidestepping skink is offering you, but yeah. I quite liked the lizard team I faced in the first round of the Blitzpit qualifiers that had 4 block, one of which was break tackle, and then one of the 2 naked ones had frenzy. I thought that was quite interesting. I know break tackle is a bit of a crutch on lizards, and you shouldn't really need it. But it did mean there was a Saurus that, because I had a lot of goblins, so I could easily tie all of them down and not care if a goblin or 2 died. And it meant there was one I couldn't tie down. So against me, it was very, very useful. Against other races, maybe less so. But I didn't think it was as terrible to have a break tackle block lizard as I had thought before facing that team.
Yeah, when you can stack them, that's very valid and stuff. But again, it's one of these things that, like, I know a lot of people, and I know both of you guys have played the block lizards before, and if you're not interested in playing that style, then that's fine. I personally enjoy 6 block Saurus.
Yeah.
and I do find it very hard. Having played it, I will be experimenting, in particular in the Blood Bowl 2020. I will be experimenting with the Frenzy Saurus, I think, as one of them. But I do see the skill picks, and changing it up on a Saurus is absolutely fine. But putting a skill on a skink is just a little bit of a waste, because you're not going to Apo that skink unless it's one of your last two, like ever. You can afford to lose two skinks. That's the whole point. Don't let them get hit, but you're happy to lose two of them. You're saving the Apo for the KO in the second half, or the injury in the first half.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. I think the endless debate, about do you go with the third reroll or the Apo or the
it's
12th
three
skink?
rerolls Apo for me. So
I did 3 rerolls and extra skink when I had the 6 block lizards, and I really wish I hadn't. I'd really wish I'd taken the Apo. Again, not to save a skink ever, but if you do get, because AV9 is strong, but it does break. And if you lose a lizard in the first half to KO, you want to not lose it. That's much better than having an extra skink to bring on in its place.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, what fresh hell is this? Okay. Yeah, 1 block, 1 guard, fleshy isn't terrible. I think we've said a lot of times before we'd rather have 2 of one or 2 of the other rather than 1 and 1. A nice white with guard, that's fine. A white with tackle, that's sort of all right. And again, a block wolf and a mighty blow wolf, because there's a double available, so you have to take it. It's all right. And then a blodge ghoul. Yeah, this is fine. I still think the mighty blow claw is a bit of a trap, but there's races against which you're going to be really glad it's there, so it's not terrible, this build. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't mind the block and guard switching around as well. Some people say you should take one of each. Some people say you should take both the same. You know.
Yeah, I think I slightly prefer both the same, one way or the other. And we've said before that, you know, a tackle white, it's okay. Core hates it. I don't utterly hate it, but I think certainly if I had 2 block fleshies, I'd want 2 guard whites. I think 1 and 1, I'd probably again want 2 guard whites. And then I might be tempted with a wrestle wolf to take down blodgers rather than a tackle white. Yeah, I'm not saying it's wrong, super zombie robot lawyer ninja elite pirate monkey man. It's just, yeah, there's very little sometimes between different NAF rosters, and that is an area here where you can at least say, okay, it's all right, but maybe some other people would do it another way, and just try and fill the dead air until Core decides to come back.
Yeah, where has Core gone?
Core was having a talk in the kitchen. I was about to say. The thing is, it's just a lot of us want. It's just a lot harder. I think it's harder to play with 1 block, 1 guard fleshy. That's one thing, because you need to be really careful where they go. Where if you have 2 block, they can go where they go. The tackle. The problem I have with tackle is it's mainly if you're playing on the top tables. I know you sometimes like it for the same reason. Problem is, if the team you're playing is not a Dutch team, then it's a high percentage of your skills you're taking away by giving 1.
Yeah.
But I mean, the flip side of that is when you come up against wood elves, and you will if you're ending up on the top tables, not having a tackle just makes those dancers really hard to kill.
Yep.
And everyone loves killing dancers.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, I think I agree, super zombie robot lawyer man. Except I think if you're going with a block mighty blow wolf, then I think there's a really good argument that you need either 2 guard fleshies or 2 guard whites to support that hitting, because you really need to not frenzy trap yourself. You're obviously going to try and bang pieces out with it, and hence you need to guard somewhere as the fulcrum around which those pieces hit.
I have not made a racial breakdown of this tournament, but I think we got 2 more Amazon Steeds.
Wow. So this means what, is this the first round against each other? So neither will see Roxy if they bought her.
Oh, that's a good question. Let's see. Aqua. What is this? Is that Aqua Shell? First, Aqua Shelf is not a Roxy build.
Oh. Right, my money's on the Roxy Zons then.
And there's no guard.
Wow, what a lot of blodge. This person's decided blodge works. And I love that. That's, they've gone with a meme theme. I'm going to blodge everything, and what are you going to do about it? And then they've bought an accurate thrower. And my heart sinks for them. I mean, okay, for short drives, yeah, fine. That can be useful, I suppose. It's not terrible, is it?
No.
Cool.
I mean,
I think it's best he doesn't speak about this build, isn't it?
It's the kind of build where you really want some sort of star player with it as well, don't you?
I still want guards. The thing is, I want to bully people with bloods and guard.
I
That's
mean,
how
yeah,
I play
I mean,
Amazons.
Yeah.
I
you
want
got-
wrestle to sack.
Why, in what world are you going to need 5 rerolls in a NAF game that doesn't have overtime? How's that?
Oh
When
my
you
god!
And no
Oh my
apple.
God.
Blodge
no
on
apple.
everything.
And no apple.
And no
Oh
apple.
wow. Okay.
And only 12 ladies with
You're going-
87.
You're going to reroll block every turn.
Yeah, it's got to be for grief re-rolling, doesn't it, to try and get removals, because you're not going to have a full team for the second half, even with that much blodge. I wouldn't have thought. I mean, every
One
time
would.
I think that, people then, laugh at me and
Yeah.
roll nothing but 3s to get away from everything. So I quite like the blodge everywhere. You can probably keep that thrower safe. For short drives, accurate isn't awful. And you've got the 2 catchers to be up there as options, and everyone else is an option too. It's all right, isn't it?
Oh. So you like the Roxy build, right?
If the 2, I'd rather coach this one.
Yes. And 3 guards. And again, you can do something on the 4th one if you like to.
I'd rather have a mighty blow, but the tackle here is going to be very useful against those other Zons. So that's he's got lucky there. But I'd rather, if the 4th one, I'd rather have mighty blow than tackle, but one or the other. In fact, a 4th guard is just as good.
Yeah, I'm going. I experimented on having everything from sure hands to mighty blow and tackle, and I must admit, the Gigster probably is right. 4 guard is just better.
A blodge catcher, as I said, that's great for extending range, for handoffs on 1 in 9 instead of 1 in 3, because if you're using Roxy, you don't get a lot of rerolls. Hence, the leader needs to be squeezed in, and it is. You can keep Roxy back, try and get that blodge catcher deep, and then Roxy's got someone to hand off to. That's all right. There's
So
some
it's
plays there.
2 rerolls versus 5.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's going to be a fascinating match, isn't it? I mean, I say fascinating, it's not. But you know what I mean? It's a fascinating matchup. The actual match itself will be dull as hell to watch, but
Yeah.
I guess we'll see who dominates.
Yeah, if I don't have to play, I will probably be watching Bestas versus Tenmo still so far.
Yeah, agreed. So far, out of all the matches, it looks a good one.
And we got some more Necros. We got a bit of a theme.
Necro and Zons.
Yeah.
Okay, these have come with an idea.
Oh wow, yes.
I just looked down. I hadn't actually looked at the team.
Kill.
Hit things, make things dead.
Destroy them all.
This is a Mr. Page fan. I mean, I love the simple pleasure he gets from killing things. And lots of other people do too. This is there to make you dead. Things that make you go, oof.
Super somber robot lawyer man. First now I realized the client name SZLM. It's of course just a shortening of the Super Ninja Robot Lawyer. Whatever, man. Jesus, I'm slow.
SZRLM, yeah.
But yeah, it's
I'm trying to be nice. I don't want to talk about this too.
Yeah, and yeah. Let's look at some chores. Oh, it's not a Demi build. It's not a Demi build.
By which we mean, of course, it has brought an apothecary. Yes, I like to give Forrest their call. Thank you very much. Never let him forget. Never forgotten. Never forgiven.
Yeah.
2 block
We had a
bulls.
demi build. The all skilled hobgoblin build was a demi build.
Double mighty blow chorf
Yeah.
is just so
Yeah.
aggressive. It's just so it's unnecessary. Really, that's what it is. It's unnecessary because the one should be enough.
Yeah. Well, what about when I kill the one? What are you going to do then?
And
Haha! I have another. Of course, I don't have any guard, but I've got 2 strength 4 hitty things as well, and I can hit things with them because they're also quite fast, and that'll allow me to get the assists to hit things with my mighty blow.
yeah. Should I just move the box down to the next game?
I mean, I always remember, and look, sure hands on a hobgob, that's not the worst thing on that team by a long means. But I always remember a conversation I had with Gegster, who's a very, very good England player, Team England player, a NAF player.
Giggle.
And I was debating with him, about, because I love Chaos Dwarves, but they're so hard to build well in NAF. What do you do with the 2 bulls? Is it better to? It's obviously not better to put sure hands on a bull. That's terrible. Is it better to have block on one and break tackle on the other, or a block and a guard? And he went, well, when I'm facing Chaos Dwarves, what do I fear the most? What is the hardest for me? And it's 2 bulls with break tackle because I don't know where the hell they're going to go. And I said, yeah, but when they get there, what are they going to do? And he went, they're going to be strength 4. That's what they're going to do. And I think there's a point there. I don't hate block on them. I don't hate guard on them. I personally tend to lean a bit more towards some break tackle there. And then support it with 3 guards and 1 mighty blow and let your hobgoblins be naked. Really, that's the way.
We got a Chorf mirror. We got
that's nice.
We got a demi.
That's nice.
A demi
That's
build.
fine. Yeah.
With 11
So
players, no Apo.
Yeah, he's put the 3rd reroll in instead of the.
It's Mad or which is the star with 80k or 90k? It's a Mad Eye.
Mad Eye, God.
It's
Red Devil. I know him. He's a Welsh guy. He's one of the Welsh tabletop guys. He'll be having some fun with this. He's one of those guys who he's not only is he well experienced in NAF style, he also just has some fun. So that's why he's built it pretty well. And then thrown in the star player for some fun.
Well, there's all sorts you can do there. I mean, if you put the ball on Zarg, you can run your bulls down deep.
He's got Hail Mary.
Try and control an area of the field. See if you can bring some hobgoblins with you. Tie everything up with the chorfs, and then Hail Mary the ball just into that area. That's fun and very hard for people to do much about. If you don't think that's going to be the plan against the race you're facing, you've got a strength 4 guy that can sit on the line, take the hits for you.
Hail Mary, pass, secret weapon, strong arm, sure hands, tackle, fixed skull. 4-4-3-9.
Yeah, he doesn't come with block, but he does come with tackle, which could be interesting.
And really, really slow.
Yeah, he's a dwarf.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But 4 guard and 2 block bulls is still very strong. That's going to be very strong and stable. It's a Theresa May build. And
we got a cow more. It's time to take another ride with the cow. Moo. And gone with a hobgoblin instead of apple as well.
Wow.
Mighty blow on both bulls. Is that what
I
I'm
said?
seeing?
There were three skills you need to choose between on your bulls, and any of them is sort of all right. And the only thing I said don't take is sure hands. Can I add mighty blow to that list? I didn't think I needed to, but am I allowed?
No.
I don't think so. Not personally. Not for me. Not for me, Jim. 2 rerolls, 1 in 9 with every hit you take with those mighty blows. Not for me. And if you really want to do it once, don't do it twice.
And a cow.
And a cow.
Who's you blitzing with? What is the cow doing? You cannot blitz with the cow. What is that? The cow needs to blitz to move.
It cost you a reroll and your apothecary, and it is your 12th man. So, and you want to blitz with your mighty blow bulls. So, what's it going to do? It's a very good question.
Yeah. And we got some more Roxy's. Amazon's
More.
versus an Underworld. That's interesting, at least. I should really do a breakdown of the races because this is ridiculous.
Well, it's
War putty?
40% Amazons, 20% Chorfs, 10% Goblins, and filler.
13. So that's a star player build. There's 40, 420.
Wow.
Who you? Is that Glad? Is that like Glad Skidder?
I don't know my rats well enough to be sure.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I was tabbed out. Let me have a look.
A claw troll, leader thrower, tackle blitzer, guard blitzer, 2 wrestle lineman, normal. A goblin with dirty player. Oh, and like, yeah.
Underwhelm. I'm just looking it up. 470, did you say?
420.
Is it Skitter and something else?
If it's
That sounds like Skitter plus Glad, maybe even. But how do you even get that in with that many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
it might not be
Well, you've
420.
got old Glart, haven't you? Isn't he
Yeah.
a bit more expensive? So isn't he 220?
It might be in the team motto.
Is it Hackflem and Glart?
Oh, it might be.
Is Hackflem on Blood Bowl too?
Yes. We had 5 gutter runners.
Yeah, then it might be Hackflem and Glart.
Skitter's 160, isn't it? Fuck's sake, mate.
Skitter is, yes, 160. I mean, there's a bribe in there, leaving 320, which would be presumably maybe Skitter and I don't know. I can't make that add up either.
If I could just.
But I mean, it makes sense because he's gone with a block claw troll. So my expectations as to what his other choices are not very high. So Glart is again another good hitty piece because he hasn't put claw or mighty blow on his 2 blitzers, which makes me think he has something other than the claw mighty troll to do hitting with, and hence Glart makes sense.
No.
Yes, that would make sense,
wouldn't it?
Might.
And he's got a dirty player goblin, doesn't he?
Yes.
Which is interesting. I mean, it might be Glart and 2 bribes.
What was the team? There was War Putty. It's only Skitter stab.
Oh, do Hackflem not get?
It's
do they not get? Martin, did they not get Hackflem on Blood Bowl 2? They do in. They do in. You know. In the 2016 rules.
I think you just have too much money. I think it's only Skitter. I think it was a bit weird build. I remember now checking
so
it.
Just
well.
Skitter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which kind of makes sense.
So he is going to do all his hitting with the troll then.
Yeah.
Okay.
It makes kind of sense with because he also, if you look at the team itself, there's some team value there.
Yeah, there is.
So it makes sense with Skitter. I can see that.
Yeah. So he's done what I often do, which is put way too much money in to make sure he's done enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roxy. Doom. Doom.
Wow, original. Never seen that before.
3 guard, we like. White blow's fine. That's fine. 2 rerolls, no apple. That's a decision with 12 players.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, the no Apo, it's all right, isn't it? Because you can't Apo Roxy, and you know, and you're.
But
just
you can it's hard to reroll also.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I'm fine. I can work with both.
Yep.
What's next? Next up is that some Norse versus some more Chorfs?
I mean,
Is this our first? Is this our first Norse team?
I'm not disagreeing with you, Miles, that when 2016 rolled round, I'm not sure they had him, but we currently have him available for Underworld on Fumble, which makes me think either a Spike put him in there for them when they redid it, or that
Yeah,
he
I
was there
think it
before
was
the
a.
Spike.
I think it
Because
was a.
it's not like Chris to get the rules wrong on what's currently in use on Fumble. So the current 2016 rules before the update clearly did have Skitter and Hackflem available for Underworld, because that's where I just looked it up. But I don't coach a lot of Underworld, so it maybe that was a late addition rather than it happened in 2016. And I know for 2020 that everything is different. You know, who gets what stars is because there's only at the moment 20 odd stars. Although I think we're going to get more. I think lots of them will be back.
So we got a sure hands runner, a diving tackle runner, a guard berserker, double wolves, and a juggernaut snow troll. Oh yeah.
I don't play Norse, but if I had to face this Norse team, I'm not too worried, which says something about it, doesn't it?
Yes, I don't hate the sure hands runner. I mean they get dodge as a normal access, so I quite like blodge runners.
Yeah, I think not seeing a blodge runner makes me feel quite happy if I have to face this team.
Yeah, that is a worry. So I'm glad that's gone. One Zerka's fine to sneak your guard in somewhere. 2 block Ulfs is nice and aggressive.
But that also means if you're taking guard on the Zerka, right? That means you're not taking Mighty Blow on the Zerka, which means you're blitzing with the Yeti probably every turn,
or the Ulfs.
So why don't we take Mighty Blow maybe on the Yeti instead of the Juggernaut? Just.
Well, I mean, if you're putting Juggernaut on the Yeti, then you can expect him to be blitzing with it, because that's a great blitzing skill. And then trying to get hits still in with his Ulfs wherever he can.
Wait a minute, what's this Chorf team? We're short of a Chorf.
Yeah, we are.
What? Surely the whole point, forgive me if I'm wrong, it's called a Chaos Dwarf team. Surely the reason you play Chaos Dwarves is to take 6 Chaos Dwarves, no?
The problem then is that, that's why Howie's got 1 Apo and 3 rerolls and a roster of 12. The problem then is that you have to make a compromise. You either lose the Apo or you lose the reroll, because they are 70k rerolls. They are very expensive.
Yeah, my concern about this roster though is that you're suddenly exposing that additional Hobgoblin, and when you're only exposing a couple, that's pretty good. But when there's another one floating around, then
and then if they get through that one, it's even harder to keep the others safe as well. So you it becomes that snowball effect. That said, what's there is built quite nicely. 4 guard and 2 block bulls is fine. It's very solid.
Yeah, like it.
What's going on, Gwurls? What's going on so far is that we're seeing an enormous amount of Amazons, mostly with Roxy. We've seen a fair few numbers of goblins. That's, I think, been the 2 dominant themes so far, and some very interesting builds, as well as a few sort of state of the art. This is what people coach in NAF with this race builds. Yes. Okay, so he was added in the Spike 9, right? So that's why he is on the Fumble when I looked him up, but he wasn't, hence not in Blood Bowl 2. Yeah, absolutely. That makes perfect sense. Well, of course, Blood Bowl 2 is still CRP, isn't it?
CRP with tweaks made by Cyanide, yes.
Yes, like the AV8 catcher. And aren't ogres a slightly different cost or something by 10k?
Yeah. It all fits in together. It all works out fine, but yeah. Yes, AV8 human catchers is something that if you're going to a NAF style event, you can really exploit that by taking the guard on the catcher rather than the block on the ogre. I really like that. I really like that.
Yeah, I absolutely like that.
Because it's just so nice to have a movement 8 dodge guard is fantastic.
Yeah, me and Cora have talked long and hard and boringly about how we don't particularly love skilling big guys. That said, the human ogre is the one I do sometimes make an exception for.
Yeah, agreed. I must say I much prefer a guard on the human ogre.
Yeah, me too.
Again, this is experience though. I would have taken. You could have asked me a couple of years ago before I'd started playing more NAF style. You could have said, "Oh, what are you taking on the humans?" And I'd have seen the double, and I'd have gone, "Well, that's block on the ogre then." So it's all about experience and learning and stuff. So
But in the real tabletop world where catchers are AV7, then I'm not sure guard is that great on them. They can get banged out so much easier that then I might be tempted back to block on the ogre. And again, I wouldn't be using it for blitzing. People always say, "Oh, well, if you've got a skill on a big guy, it means you're going to use the big guy a lot." Not necessarily. It just means it's harder to be pushed off on 2 red dice. It means I can do an end of the turn hit and not matter if he goes stupid usually. It's just it makes him even more solid, which is sometimes what you really need on that human team. Helps him tank better, to use the younger gamers' parlance.
Yep. Dennis the Menace. I'm pretty sure I've played against him in the Water Bowl. And
So again, this is a little more standard, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is more what Coffee Monster, I think, would say yes to. We've got 2 block trees. We've got a sprint fling. We've got 4 diving tackles. And forgive me, I think that looks like a sneaky git.
It's sneaky git, yeah.
Yeah, I would swap the sneaky git for another sprint. But other than that, I think this is fine.
It's all right. This is the halflings, as we've seen with Store playing halflings. This is where if you can swap the skill, if you can turn the skills into money, suddenly flings become great.
Yeah,
because this
is still NAF. This is still the NAF Championship rules. Forgive me, from 19, and they only tweaked where Necro was.
Right.
Since 2018, so we're playing a 2000. This is a 2018 rule set.
Yeah.
So whereas
flings,
now,
of course, instead of gained timber on the trees, 2 nice, interesting positionals, all sorts of fun things. Now, there's got to be a cash pile on top of this, doesn't there?
Yeah, that's 520. It's
shape. All of that because the TV without is 1130, so they're not having.
No. You don't know because when you have Cas, everything or 150 counts as your team value. That's
yes,
people goes wrong of that all the time.
Yeah.
That's the question I have to answer every time when we play the NAF.
Okay, so what's being added to this?
It's Shep, Sarah, and Willow. And Deep Silence.
Wow.
Yes.
Willow.
Yes, well, I went Chef, yay, Zara, yay, and Willow.
It fits the money. I think because
it fits the money. There we are. It fits the money.
I do like Willow, but I use Willow. I use Willow a lot on Amazones. It's a really good. Again, it's a good tank for certain teams. Amazons is one of them.
There's going to be matchups she's very useful in, and other matchups she's not.
To the money, she's not bad.
She's a blockless sidestepping strength 4. That's not bad as a roadblock.
With jump up, and especially when we had the Alta in CCL where she was 100k. And
she's also really AV8, isn't she? So, yes. I mean, there's some pluses and minuses to her. I've never hated her as much as some people do. She gets a load of hate from some people.
I think I've taken her with Wood Elf in the Chalice where I needed somebody to just take hits.
Yeah, to tank the hits, because she's slightly better at that than an elf, of course.
I guess because you can't take the 2 as a you call it PC, the 2 dirty girls. You can't take
2 dirty girl build. No, you can't.
Yeah, you can't do it. So why not take Willow instead? So this looks like a Wood Elf team that's pretty standard, isn't it? The leader, 3, the strip, the tackle, 3 double dodge wrestle. It's absolutely fine, isn't it? Some people might swap one of those dodge for a wrestle. Some people, I like the non-skilled catchers. I like that a lot.
I literally have nothing to say about this. It's fine. All right, I'm going to find something to say. I quite enjoyed it where for about 9 months people were experimenting with Frenzy instead of Strip Ball. Or Frenzy instead of Tackle. I thought that was fun.
On Wood Elf?
Everyone decided it was
Italian.
bad.
It's Italian.
Yeah, the Italian Wood Elf build.
I don't even experiment. I just do it when I go to a tournament where I want to have more fun.
Yeah,
because it's less good. I find it less. It's less.
And do you swap it for the Strip Ball or the Tackle? Because I've seen it swapped for both.
A tackle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you always want that threat of the Strip Ball where you just know that the uphill is good chance at sacking.
Yeah, one of the nice things about the Frenzy, of course, is it does give them some genuine fear of the sidelines.
Yes, especially it changes completely those the tactics of things like the Amazon and the Lizard, which is such an awful matchup for them
Yeah.
versus the Woodies anyway. But the only
Yeah,
way
yeah.
you can win those games is go to the side and wait for them to leap in and surf the Dancer. But
Yeah.
then if you do that and you end up losing, you could easily get a Saurus surfed or a Guard Blitzer surfed in the case of the Amazons, and actually you might end up equally as bad, as worse off.
Yeah, I mean, I
No,
have to say, Mars, I felt the same. But then, if I'm running a block dwarf in the middle of a nice set of dwarves, then the strip ball is very little use against me. The tackle is too. So the frenzy is actually genuinely more use against me in some ways.
no
I didn't.
Apo, no
I
Apo
wasn't
in
that
this build
impressed
as
with
well.
it, but I
No.
thought it was interesting and fun. And there's so little that's interesting and fun with Woodies, isn't there? And this team is, it's the state of the art with Woodies. I think that's probably if there is a right way to build them, that's probably it.
Yeah, if you want a tree.
And there was much rejoicing.
Which is more normal than not having. You need to be honest.
Again, it's about tanking the hits. It's not about what it does. It's about what other people do to it, isn't it?
Yeah, still, like, it's slowly annoying. It stops me from doing what I want to do. Go away with it. Go away, tree. But I know, like, DU thinks I'm mad. But that's fair.
Yes, but he takes jump up first on dwarves, so I've stopped listening to him.
And it's fine.
I think the point is with everything is when you've played Blood Bowl 2 for long enough, you kind of start, when you've played all the races that you want to play, and you've done all the builds that so okay, I'm going to take tackle first on my dancer. Okay, I'm going to go strip ball first on my dancer in the CCL, whatever. You start running out of things. I started noticing PC after you giving me all this advice about dwarves, like, oh, only take guard and mighty blow. All of a sudden, I see you got dodge troll slayers, and I'm like, what the hell is PC doing? And I'm just, but that's the point, isn't it? You've reached the point where you know how to play dwarves when you've got however many guard, etc. You're just saying, oh, I've rolled a double here. Let's have some fun. And fun for me is dodge on a troll slayer. Great.
No, it's brilliant. You're wrong. It's entirely deliberate. I put the missed the double jump up on gutter runner build.
Oh yeah, you missed it. You missed that as well.
I'm not sure I would have particularly loved that.
Yeah,
the reason I did it with both dwarfs that season. The reason I put one of them was first, the other one was second.
But
the reason I
it's
did
your
a dodge
trap
slayer
magnet.
is because people hit the slayer even if it's got dodge, and they'll hit it without tackle because people are idiots and they hate slayers.
I thought it was great. It just made me laugh, the fact that it was all very here's this flowchart, Hellboy, of guard first. Does it have guard? Take mighty blow. Good. Does it have mighty blow? Yes. Right. Well, you can pick any other skill because it's got everything it needs.
Well, that flowchart is a joke, although a joke with
course.
some truth to its core.
Of course.
I don't mess around as much with the beards because, as Singolo's pointed out, you only need beards to win with dwarves.
Very true.
But the Slayer is, and people know this about me now, sadly, so it should stop working, but it hasn't yet.
Okay,
Slayers to me are largely distractions because other people love hitting them.
But that's the
and
same.
I constantly hang them out to get smashed to pieces so that my team can do what I want elsewhere on the pitch.
But that's the same as the tree.
Slayer is so much harder for them to knock over. It's great.
It's just your tree, man. It's just your trap magnet. Yeah. It's the same.
It is.
Everybody know the tree. You shouldn't touch it. Everybody does it anyway.
Yeah, you want to touch it. In other news, why do we have 2 throwers on this human team?
I don't know.
I've got 13 prayers and no apple.
I'm looking at it going, ogre, block, okay, fine, fair enough. Double mighty blow, okay, yep, sure.
A little bit rowdy.
Yep, okay, fair enough.
Don't, but yeah.
Lovely. Dirty player, great. Okay, block, throw, good, stops the woodies. What? Where's the catcher? Come on.
See, what I did is I looked down, I went, block, ogre, yeah, I suppose, we talked about that. It's not terrible, I'd rather not, but there we are. It can be okay. 2 mighty blows. I'd rather that was 3 guard and 1 mighty blow, but it's fine. Trying to get bangy. Oh, and he's brought the dirty player right. He really wants to bang people out. Fine. Nice long roster. 2 catch at the bottom, 1 of which had block. Oh, imagine how good it would be if the other catcher had guard. Oh, wait. They're throwers. What the hell? So that was my thought process.
I wonder, this screams slightly at me that either it's a misclick or there's an automatic team build function, and maybe that's given you 2 throwers.
And he didn't
Ah,
ask to change it.
Yeah.
well, yeah, don't do
well. Yeah, well.
Hey, good
And he's
Kimry.
facing Kemri, okay.
that. Wow, again, feisty Kemri.
I don't
yeah.
mind it.
It's all right, isn't it?
I think this. I like a block kit, especially
I like a block Tomb Guardian if you've got access to a
I
double.
think-
It
I
means
think
you've
I
got a
would've-
reliable hit somewhere on the
Yeah.
line. You don't have to start with a 1 in 9 risk.
dirty
which
player and
otherwise-
12 man on the EV7 is maybe a bit, but there must be a
I mean,
must be a
that's the
slap
rowdy
there.
bit to me.
I
That
do
must
think
be
I do think maybe I don't mind the Mighty Blow Blitzer at all. That's great, but I think maybe the another guard on the Tomb Guardian, just because if you with a block one as well, can you
Yeah.
imagine sandwiching that block one between 2 Tomb Guardians and then the third one on hanging on an edge somewhere else as well? You know, it's like that becomes a nightmare to remove.
Well, I'll see your third guard. I'll raise you a stand for Tomb Guardian. I think that could be of a lot of use too. Locking down
that's interesting.
sidelines, giving you a sideline to push up with something that can definitely stay there.
And,
A piece you can put on someone and know it can't just be pushed off on red dice fairly easily.
But-
But I don't hate this, but it is very bangy.
and it's a kind of also a problem if you only have one throw up, probably one block on it.
Yeah, 2 guard. I mean, squeezing in then 2 mighty blow and a tackle, I think is a little greedy, and then adding a dirty player to it as well.
He
You're
do have
definitely
a
looking at
he do
high
have
roll
a
teams.
bribe.
Yeah, you're definitely looking to high roll teams and remove things, aren't you? That's
So
the plan.
he's coming with a bribe. That's as well.
Well, I mean, the other thing to remember is, of course, Kemri are not the elves in any matchup, are they?
No.
They are definitely the orcs, as you call it, you know, and they are there to remove things and get in the way and trundle down the pitch. And if you've got double mighty blow and a bit of guard and and some tackle for when you face the elves, inevitably, you know.
The problem there is the amount of reroll churn. You're going to have to accept some both down.
You burn through. Yeah, I've been playing 2 reroll Kemri in a little NAF league that's running with some good coaches at the moment. We've just been having some fun on Fumble while we're waiting for the new TSD on Fumble.
Sure.
There was somebody winning a last TST game with some Kemri smashing up some orcs.
That's very true, exactly. But the 2 rerolls though, I've had to take some both downs, which have not been particularly pleasant, just because you can't do anything else.
PC will have been, I was about to say, been proud of my killing of orcs.
Yes, it was a very good game. Actually, when's the final TSD playoff match? That must be soon.
It's tonight, isn't it?
Tonight. Oh yeah.
Has Troy already played?
It's just started.
Ooh, if it's speed, it's speed up.
Oh no! Oh no! 40 minutes ago. Sorry, no. It was UGC 20. So that's
I'll maybe pop in and see how it goes when we're done with this.
Yeah, I would be interested to see.
Right,
yeah.
Mars M's promised me something about whiskey, so let's have a look at something whiskey-ish. Eldir is his favourite. He's spelt whiskey correctly.
Ooh. Whiskey. And whiskey is what?
Yeah,
it's
because he hasn't put an E in it. The E is Irish.
Yeah.
So whiskey with an E is Irish.
Of course, as I'm no longer allowed to drink malts, I spell whiskey with a B.
Oh no! Why aren't you allowed to drink?
No,
malt?
it's a throat thing. It's terrible to the vocal cords drinking neat alcohol. So now that I have to always mix alcohol, I drink bourbon instead of proper whiskies.
Ah yes.
So whiskey and
nephew now
fudge.
Won't drink a malt that's cost him less than £70 a bottle.
And he's
silver spoon-fed bastard.
Yeah. Oh, love! I do like this theme. I think he wins that. I think he wins the team theme, doesn't he? I think he wins
Like a mod. And Fudge, the goblin.
Yeah, Fudge the goblin. Yeah. Oh, fudge it. Right. That said, it's a very it's another rowdy build, isn't it? We're seeing.
It really is. Yeah.
Mighty blow. I mean, I would be impressed if any matches, some of these matchups that we've seen, if any pieces are left on the board by the end of it with all the mighty blow that's knocking around.
Yeah, it's it's a build.
Yeah, it's a build. Yeah.
Again, I think 2 mighty blow and a tackle is at least 1 too many.
Yeah,
if not 2.
If not 2, yeah, exactly. Something somewhere has been. Yeah, exactly. Marsden, some very nice
Yeah,
distilleries.
some
Hopefully,
some
it performs
quality.
as well on the pitch as they do on the pallet.
Yes.
Oh, but it's
And
okay. It's okay. He's got 2 mighty blows and a tackle, and he's facing a team which doesn't really want to face mighty blow
Wow.
or tackle
Okay.
at some point.
He's a round 1 winner. That's fine.
He's struck lucky, hasn't he? This is an. I like. Well, okay. I
that's
don't
3
mind a
rerolls,
friendly.
13 player.
I don't mind a frenzy blitzer as the third option. You can either go
Yeah.
tackle, mighty blow, or guard really on it, can't you? On that third
Yeah.
one, but you need the
Just
3
no
guard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need the 3 guard, especially if you're bringing a frenzy.
No, I don't hate the
think
frenzy at all, but yes, I don't think you can afford a frenzy and a tackle. I think
Yeah.
a third guard would be better there.
Yeah, it's just because the whole point is to be pushing people around, isn't it, with the frenzy and controlling the pitch in that way. So use the guard to maximize it.
A whole host of bare naked ladies. I think those can usually do fine, depending except what you're facing, and not perhaps facing those orcs.
Yeah,
But you do have
Another-
13.
Another
Catcher.
bodge catcher, which is a big running theme, isn't it?
yeah, and putting the wrestle on the other catcher means you do get the double catcher in, which is quite nice.
Yeah, I prefer to.
Is it though?
But
I
Do you
prefer
really
to.
want to wrestle with your piece?
I know,
that's a
but
hand
what I'm
option?
saying
How's
exactly. That's what I was going to say though. Is like you've put it on the catcher, but then you're having to field both catchers, which you kind of want them for the short drive, which is why you brought them.
Well, I'd rather have the
Or the
wrestle on
riot.
another lady, and then just a naked catcher, which again gives me that run it deep and has a handoff option. But yeah, it's not terrible, is it?
It's all right.
Mars, I had a very interesting experience. I went to the Fatted Duck once for my 40th, actually. My partner bought, long story, but bought me and a friend to go because she didn't want to go, really. She wouldn't have eaten any of it. And one of the courses they served was 5 different gummy bears, each of which was a different whiskey. And that was very, very nice. Reminding me of my malt drinking days.
Oh, what table are we on now, Cor? Not that I'm.
The
not that I'm
last.
Oh,
Really?
We on 21.
Hooray! Oh, sorry, yes.
It's a Skaven team that's still not built quite how I would build a Skaven team, but
200,000 in inducements.
what's it bringing?
Let me look in my tweeting ways to see
That
what
can't
is put in the
That
mod.
can't be Glart, can it?
It's Hackflim!
It's
Oh,
Hackflem. I was going to say, I think Hackflem's too.
Scuttlespike!
So he is on BB2, but obviously just for Skaven.
Not,
because
but
it was
yeah,
the
obviously
original.
for Underworld.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Hackflem's great. Lots of good things about Hackflem.
Stilton Standing, I do like his naming though.
A kick gutter runner though. The kick on Skaven is great when you've maybe got 8 skills, but when you're only playing with 6.
Come on. Please enjoy the cheesy names. Come on,
it's-
bird. Stilton Standing.
Cheddar safe than sorry.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Fetap getting punched.
Come on, Bert.
Do you think he's trying to do a fed up of getting?
I'm quite
joke there. Didn't quite work.
I'm quite disappointed to see that we don't have angry Welsh cheese. You know, how do you make a Welsh cheese? Angry carefully or something. You know, it's one of those ones, isn't it? Okay.
I think you might need to look that joke up because that didn't work on any level, and I didn't quite understand
No,
it.
I
do know what you're referring to.
I think it's how do you approach an angry Welsh cheese?
Ah, yes, carefully. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the explosion in the French cheese factory? All that was left was debris.
Debris. Yeah. Brilliant.
Fucking hell.
I went to my girlfriend is actually a big fan of Edam. And the other day I went to the supermarket and she said to me, make sure you get some Edam. So I went, but they didn't have any, so I got a replacement instead. Got home, we were having some cheese sandwiches, and she took a bite and said, this isn't Edam. And I said, well, I know they didn't have any, but if it's Gouda enough for me, it's Gouda enough for you.
Ooh. Edam, of course, famously the only cheese that is made backwards.
Oh my god. I think everything we've done with the Skaven.
Oh yes.
But yeah, it's
Mad
Skaven team.
That's a good one. Oh, and it's facing a dwarf team with 2 slayers with stand firm.
It's a kick blitzer. No, it's a kick runner. It's a kick runner.
Is that a shadowing?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
And 2 stand firm. Slayers.
So PC. You remember when you said earlier about taking different skills was absolutely fine on dwarves? Absolutely fine. Absolutely love it. Oh yes, yes, yes.
No, I didn't say that. I said there are some things that can be done that are interesting. How? In what?
Who are you shattering with movement for?
Look, I don't like two Slayers personally, but I don't even. If you're going to do it, then I can see why two stand firm
I want to watch.
Slayers is
I,
pushing
I,
things out and not having to dodge away afterwards from the edge.
I really want to watch the long beard with shadowing stick itself onto a gutter runner, shadow it first, dodge fail, reroll used, shadow it a second time, dodge fail, as the only way that it can
So
actually do something.
what's on the runner?
A
Kick.
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 Not
The
kick
one
off
runner.
returns, but kick.
Well, yeah, because he's put the Troll Slayer in instead of the runner, and yet that still doesn't give him the Apothecary and 3 rerolls, which is why he has 2 Fan Factor and a Cheerleader and an Assistant instead.
I tell you what. Player 2 and 3. Whoa, that's a solid build on player 2 and 3.
Yeah, two guard blitzers. I love that.
Oh, yeah.
I can see that if you do want a Slayer, putting Stand Firm on it's interesting. It gives you, control of the sidelines, as I said, without having to dodge it off afterwards. I could even see that if you really like that as a play, getting 2 of them to mind each side of the pitch could be something people might do.
The other problem with it is if you're taking 2 and you've skilled them both, that means you've got 3 AV8 on the pitch, right?
I know.
Oh dear.
I'm very aware of that. Yeah, well, that's an interesting dwarf build. Look, I love that. I love that build because we need dwarf coaches that make people hate dwarves less. So that's good for Blood Bowl.
Guess
Well
who's
done.
shattering
They're
trades?
taking that punch for the whole of dwarf coaches the world over.
Yeah.
More people that aren't me build dwarves really creatively, please. That I don't mind. Although having said that, I don't take the sort of the standard meta for dwarves, which is almost certainly 6 guard, and if not 5 guard and a mighty blow. I don't take that either. So who am I to criticize anybody else?
Exactly.
But that's a 21
draw
table.
Draw a line under it now, yeah.
And I will probably still be watching Vestas.
Yeah, I think that first matchup's going to be really interesting to see. That well built Amazons versus Vestas on Pro Elves is just going to be good fun.
That does sound good. It was one thing I noticed when I'd been to the UKTC a few times before I, for the first time, went to the NAFC. There are some fantastic players at the real NAFC. And then there's a lot of people that have heard about the NAFC, doesn't know there's a tournament scene in Blood Bowl, and that's the first time they go to anything and coach a team in a tournament. And that's brilliant. That's what the NAFC should be about.
Yeah.
It's both things. It's the flagship tournament for a reason in both directions.
Yeah, and I think the other thing that was going to be brought in before the COVID happened was they brought in the rule which I was keen to see, which was you couldn't win any prize if you brought an unpainted team.
Yeah, no,
because that was the real disappointment. Like I understand, you may not enjoy painting teams, you may not have the, but just slap some paint on it for goodness sake. I don't mind
get a
about
mate
the
to paint
bases.
them or buy one
Exactly.
off eBay that's already painted like
Exactly.
I do because I can't paint and won't paint. It would be humiliating and I would hate it.
Yeah, but
there's ways of getting around that. The NAFC ended up on a televised game against someone with a shiny metal team, and I didn't particularly enjoy that, I have to say.
No, that's a real shame.
It was.
Yeah.
I mean, nice guy. I just, I found that a bit difficult to face the team. I couldn't work out what the hell was what without seriously staring at it. He then also got incredibly lucky, which annoyed me.
Oh, worse.
I mean, wood elves, just. Coach a proper race that's actually going to challenge you a bit. That's what I say.
Oh dear.
Right. Well, if that's all that, I will call it a night.
It's been lots of fun. I'm glad I made it back for some of that.
Yeah, it's definitely, if anything, we've just finished as well, Rorik. We got the drawer here, and we got a nice picture taken by you in the corner. If nothing else, this is kind of more fun than doing TST and TSD because more people are used to playing NAF and it's more competitive.
because TST is full of tryhards building the absolute ultimate team they possibly can, and if they don't know how to, they've asked 38 other people and they've told them.
Disgusting.
Exactly.
It's
This
just-
is, but this is fun because you don't know what you're getting when you click on the
Yeah,
team.
there's a hugely varied variety of builds, and I think that is good for Blood Bowl. But you can look down that list and spot the 10 people that are very likely to be up in the top places after 3 rounds.
Yeah, it is refreshing to see some, quite frankly, silly builds in here where people are clearly having some fun, trying something new, rather than, as you say,
I tell you what, you talk about that Table 1 game. The game I want to watch is Robot, Zombie, Lawyer, Ninja, Pirate, Super, Spaceman Dude.
Yeah, with
I
Seki.
really want to see what those goblins are capable of. I mean, he's up against a reasonable coach, isn't he?
Seki is good. He's one of the
With a
better Germans.
box standard build, but looking at that specific matchup, I think he's got a shot.
Yeah.
I think that can do some things.
It might do that. It might also be a faster game.
It can be deleted in 4 turns as well.
Where Bestos
But I think it looks really interesting. I think that's going to be a cracker.
Bestos is notoriously slow, so it actually might be more fun watching a Madman game.
Well, because you're going to see plenty of good. If you're going to stream them, Core, you're going to see some beautiful Blood Bowl towards the end of the tournament.
Yeah.
And by round 2, you're going to know, the people up at the top end of the top end is already going to be the same names that we know is going to be there.
Yeah, to be fair as well, you can always dip in. Bestas is going to end up playing someone else good at some point, isn't he? Even if he drops a game, he's going to end up playing someone good. So,
and if those goblins get half of them deleted in the first 3 turns, you drop out. I do think that could be an absolutely thrilling game. Really.